Chapter 5 Moonlight. While the Havens and the Gales were enjoying their dinner, the mayor was walking out of the tavern when he saw a beautiful woman passing by. He let out a mischievous smile when he decided to follow her at the back of the village, where there were very little people. "Excuse me, miss, it's late, you shouldn't be here." "Oh, I am so sorry. I didn't know there was a curfew, mayor," she said in a weak and fragile voice. "I hadn't seen you before. Are you new in town?" "Yes, I worked at the castle. I was out doing errands and lost track of time. And they had already shut the castle gates," she said helplessly. "Oh no, why don't you come stay at my place for the night and you can go back in the morning?" "Oh, thank you, mayor." As the moonlight was slowly hidden behind the clouds, a few more shadows appeared surrounding the mayor as silence and complete darkness enveloped the town. After dinner was over, Mr. Haven brought out the crates full of rifles. "I'll have them distributed early in the morning." "You're too kind, Mr. Haven." "Sheriff, would you mind if Arya stays here tonight? We have quite a lot of work to do in the morning." "Of course, Mrs. Haven. It's quite late, we'll send you on our carriage." "Oh no, need Mr. Haven. We came here with our wagon," the sheriff said as he refused slightly. "Well then, see you in the morning then, Sheriff." As they bid farewell, Tyler snagged a glance and smiled at Leah, who saw his gesture and smiled in return. After their goodbyes, June took Arya to her room. "Please refrain from going out of your room at night. We already lit the fireplace and a glass of water is on the table if you're thirsty. You don't need to be up so early, so feel free to sleep in. You're very lucky that the Havens are willing to foster you. Remember that. If all goes well, you will become an honorable lady of this house like me," June said with a smile. June then helped Arya get out of her dress and changed into her nightgown. After tucking the girl in bed, she made sure that the fireplace had enough fuel to last the night and she left. "Good night." "Good night." The Haven sat leisurely in the drawing room, as two maids came in carrying a silver jug and 3 silver chalices. "Here you are, my lord, my ladies." A thick red liquid then poured to their chalice. "I trust that you have disposed of the body properly." "Yes, my lady." "Ah. Yes, now I'm full," Mr. Haven said with a smile. "I do hope that Arya becomes a full vampire. Such a sweet girl," Mrs. Haven said. "Yes, I hope so too, mother," Leah said as she drank her cup, finally feeling full. Meanwhile, over the sheriff's house. "Tyler, dear, did you notice how calm the Havens were tonight?" his mother asked after his father went to bed. "Why wouldn't they be? Are they guilty of something? They are living in that cursed place, and none of them seem to be affected by it. I felt the demonic aura as soon as I stepped in." "Mother, please watch what you say. Unless you want to be found out. Don't tell me you haven't felt it too. The dark presence in that castle." "Of course I did. I felt that since I was a child. But remember, it was our kind that cursed this place. I think they're witches. That's the only way they would be able to stand that place. And if they were, what are you gonna do? Tell them that you're a witch? And share secrets, like you did to Aunt Sandra years ago?" Tyler asked sarcastically. "I'm not implying anything of the sort, but if they are, then we're in good company." Late at night, the servants were still hard at work in the castle. Mr. and Mrs. Haven sat studying in their bedroom, while Arya couldn't sleep. Leah walked the dark hallway of the castle to check on Arya. When she got to her room, she saw the girl trembling with the fireplace put out. She then glared at the ghost, who was haunting the poor girl. "Get out of here," she said in a low whisper. And the ghost then vanished. "Why aren't you asleep yet?" Leah said as she lit the fire again. "There. My lady, there was someone else in here?" "That's just the walls talking," Leah said as she sat down on one of the chairs. "I'll sit here until you fall asleep. How's that sound?" Arya then nodded in assurance and finally fell asleep. Leah left her just when the sun was about to come out. If you like this story so far, subscribe so we can reach 1,000 subscribers. Men and horses were gathered early in the morning before the sunrise at West Eden Castle courtyard, along with crates full of flintlock rifles. "Thank you so much again for your generosity, Mr. Haven," the sheriff said in a polite manner. His son Tyler is standing next to him in agreeable manner. "Nonsense, it gives me great pleasure to go on a hunt," he said as he mounted his stallion. "We'll be back before nightfall," he said to his wife. "Leah, dear, what are you doing up so early?" Mr. Haven said as he saw his daughter took one of the horse's reins while wearing a yellow dress and a cape. "Since you're going wolf hunting, father, I figure that I might do some actual hunting while exploring the autumn scenery in the area." Everyone fell into shock. A middle-aged man then spoke up. "It's not wise, miss, with the wolf out there. I can take care of myself," she said with a smile as she raised her pistol. Mr. Haven smiled and said, "All right, be back before dark." "Mr. Haven, if you don't mind, I would like to offer my aid and escorting your daughter," Tyler said as he looked at his father. "Oh, are you not going with them, Tyler?" The sheriff then answered, "The lady's safety is at the most important. You shouldn't be wandering by yourself in the woods without any assistance." "It's settled then, Leah," Mr. Haven said as he looked at his daughter with a stern yet understanding expression. "Yes, father," she said reluctantly as they turned around and left, leaving them with one horse. "My lady," June said as she handed her a saddlebag. "Thank you," Leah said as she mounted the horse. She then looked down at Tyler in disdain, but he just smiled at her in response. "Last I remember, you couldn't even fought off a wolf." "My apologies for being selfish, my lady, but I would like to show you something," he said with a smile. Leah then bit her lip into a thin line and sigh. As Tyler got on the horse with her, he said to her, "You look beautiful today, Leah." "We're burning daylight," she said irritably. He smiled as he took the reins from behind her. As they then left the castle courtyard, they left town and went into the woods where the morning fog was thick. The trees were in a deep shade of brown and contrast nicely with the orange leaves. As the mist began to dissipate, the mist-yellow leaves became more prominent in the landscape. "How long until we get to where you want to take me?" Leah asked flatly in a monotone voice. "Don't worry, we're almost there." They then began to hear the sound of falling water. As Tyler stopped at the perfect spot to see the waterfall, Leah smiled, and Tyler asked, "What do you think?" "It's beautiful." Tyler glanced down at her to see her smiling face. "You want to take a closer look?" Leah nodded in response. They then went down to the base of the waterfall. "I should have bought a picnic basket if I had known that I was going to take you here today," Tyler said apologetically. She then responded nonchalantly, "It's fine. I brought 2 loaves of bread anyway, but I don't think we have enough jam." They then sat near the base of the waterfall with the horse being tied securely, not too far away. "How do you think the hunt is going?" "I hadn't heard a gunshot in ages. If they have come across something, or anything, they would have shot it already," Leah said irritably. "I'm sure that they would at least come back with some game, my lady," Tyler said reassuringly. "I sure hope so. 'Cause I think I can eat a whole deer all by myself," she said as she wasn't satisfied with the bread she was eating. Tyler laughed and said, "You were talking like you haven't eaten anything in ages." "This might sound hard to believe, but the truth is, my family always have to ration our meals. Less we want to eat vegetables." "Yeah, I don't believe you. It's the truth though," Leah said with a smile before she saw a snake suddenly attack and bite Tyler. "Tyler!" She grabbed the snake and yanked it off his hand. She was about to rip it into pieces before Tyler stopped her. "Don't, if you kill it, we won't be able to make the medicine. Get the horse." She then ran and untied it. Tyler then mounted it quickly. "Hey! You can't take on the reins, you're hurt." We need to take care of this right away, otherwise you are a dead man. I need to do something now, otherwise the poison will course through his body. If he makes even the slightest movement. Fuck it. Cover your mouth and try not to scream, she said, as she raised his sleeve and bit his arm and drank his blood to stop the poison from spreading. Like this story, comment, and subscribe to be notified when the next chapter comes out.